It's Radio Zero with Rick and Rose on Friday, January 13th, Friday the 13th, 2023. 11323.
Really?
Which is the devil's number. I'm just making that up.
You can subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. You can go to radiozero.us, get the RSS feed, old school. We're live streaming on Facebook, on the Radio Zero page and Poster Children page, on Twitch at PCJC USA, and on the Poster Children YouTube channel. It seems like 4 o'clock on every other Friday might be what's going to happen for a while. We'll see what happens in a couple of weeks.
And it'll always be like right before then that I go, I'll be either at the academic planning committee or I'll just be sitting on my butt. How did you get out of your meetings early? Did you tell them you had to go somewhere?
You can patronize us at patreon.com/Radio Zero. Thank you to all our patrons for patronizing us.
So nobody knows you're not still in the meeting?
No. They let me, I don't want to tell you why.
Oh, I know. Oh, because they're discussing me now.
Shouldn't even be talking
Rick's
about it.
on like well, that's public knowledge that you're on that's forward-facing, outward-facing.
Dog?
Down dog. It's on the internet. I think you can see that you're on the, Rick is who judges he's the judge of all the faculty. Now that's a pretty bright white light there. That's going to kill me. How come you don't have one, huh?
Well, okay, so
that's okay.
We had to today or after we had a New Year's Eve party. So after 2 years, I had to clear off the podcasting setup on our,
which was really great
on
our dining room table. Go on.
And so then I packed it all up, and then I had to unpack it for a different podcast, a couple of podcasts actually. So, it's supposed to be out today. I haven't checked. I've been so busy today. Champagne is also a band. I had a great conversation about He's My Star. That should be posted today, if it's not already. Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. It's their 100th show, too.
Yeah,
Champagne
I know.
Is also a podcast.
Quite an honor.
Yeah.
And then I realized, I stopped using my webcam for my school stuff, and I'm using my laptop camera because it looks so much better. But then I decided to try out my old webcam for the Rose camera to see if it's better. And it does have a light, and it's slightly better, but the color is very blue compared to me in terms of the live streaming. So I think it's a slightly better camera, but it's not. I don't like the color contrast. And so the reality is we have to do this where we both have our laptop cameras because they look so much better. So somehow I'm going to have to hook in your laptop because you always have your laptop. I'll hook that in for the live stream. Those of you listening on tape delay,
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I'm looking at myself right now, and I hope I don't look like that. Actually, look a little better than usual. So I guess.
So that's what the bright white light is for.
Yeah.
But the problem is that bright white light for some reason is more blue tinted because apparently I don't know what
you
the
can't
average
change
human.
That? There's a little thumbprint in the middle of it.
That thumbprint makes it dimmer.
Okay.
But so you could try poking at that, but then it's gonna probably make. Yeah, that might be better. Yeah, that's probably better. I think that looks okay. Is it dimmer or is it off?
It's off.
Okay, good. I think that's good.
Yeah,
we'll go with that.
I won't
now
have
it's
a
too
headache.
pink.
No.
But anyways, yeah, I don't know. That's it.
Thanks for listening.
Yes, thanks. Oh yeah, Champagne is also a band podcast. And then another podcast talking about some interesting stuff, and that I'm sure will be up in a few years. We had a 2-hour conversation. So
what was that? That was why I had to watch Hereditary. Right?
That's right.
Okay. So the A24. All right. So let's just dive into the Golden Globes, shall we? Do you actually have a list?
I do not have a list of topics,
I had a list.
and I did not watch the Golden Globes.
No, I
Forgot
didn't
about
either.
it.
I didn't either, and I forgot about it. But I was thinking to myself, I would care about this if Michelle Yeoh was going to be nominated or something. And then we got the text late that night from Dairy King or Columbia Man, whatever we will call him now, that Columbia student, not a sponsor. We're a sponsor. Your mom's a sponsor. Where was I going with this? Oh, that Michelle Yeoh won. She won the Golden Globe. I'm not even sure. I know the Golden Globes were racist, but everybody's racist. So
Well, they're trying hard to fix that.
yeah, well, so that would be a sucky time for a non-white person to win, then I guess. But still, I think she won. There's no movie better than Everything Everywhere All at Once. There's no movie better. It's not even a movie. It's like it's a piece of art. You think about it. Think about all the overlays and stuff, and just I was thinking about it last night instead of sleeping, and I just really love that movie, and I will beat anyone up who doesn't like it. I'll just beat 'em up.
It's the same to me. It feels like what happened with The Matrix, where I saw The Matrix the first time, and I was like, ugh. I feel like I've seen all this stuff, and it's kind of a mashup of all these things I've seen in other movies I like better and read, and comic books and everything like that. And then I grew to appreciate The Matrix. But the first time I saw The Matrix, I was just kind of like, okay, I've seen this all before. And then I kind of felt that way about Everything Everywhere All at Once. But then, as we watched it some more, I'm growing to realize that it's going to be sort of an iconic film for this.
I'm glad
for
you
the
think
next.
that.
Well, I don't know what. Yeah. So we'll probably be on this show talking about the 20th anniversary of it, re-release, and Michelle Yeoh, 80 years old, playing, the grandmother that the character, a similar character to what's his name plays in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, Kiwi Kwan.
No. The
older man.
guy who's been in movies for.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
He's like 90. He's in Blade Runner.
Heidi's?
He's in that episode of Bob Newhart that I talked about.
Yeah, with the two Asian guys. Yeah.
Yeah. And
yeah.
then the episode of Seinfeld.
Yeah, wow.
What's the freaking? I know his name.
All right, so Danny says you're a slow adapter, and then Heidi Orr says girls get it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not a slow adapter.
slow.
It's just I've seen so much stuff about, kind of that has bits and pieces of that, of what they mashed up into that film.
Okay, so
I'm an athlete. Anyways, go on.
I didn't think you were an athlete. I never see you running. So to me, that movie is about, I guess, it's the mother-daughter thing. Like, that's what it's about. And it's also about, wow, there's a 60-year-old woman who's the star of a movie and not invisible like the rest of us.
Yeah.
Almost 60-year-old women are almost invisible. That's to me, like, when I think of, I'm like, oh my God, you're forced to watch 2 hours of a 60-year-old woman, like, talking about taxes and not paying them and stuff like that.
Well,
I know there's like a multiverse.
So that's what you're getting out of it.
That's what I'm getting out of it. Well,
Okay.
what I really got out of it, go ahead and play the woman music. You won't be able to. It doesn't matter. Don't play any music.
Which one it is.
Wow. I'm going to say something really romantic now. Like,
what I do now is I go, okay, which button do you think it is? And then I say, oh,
it's the opposite.
It's the opposite one. And then I say to myself,
No,
no, it's the one
right.
you think it is. And now I get it right.
That's how. So it's twice. Okay. Now you interrupted me getting ready to say something romantic, but it's a really romantic movie. It's like that woman, like she's like, she's not like me in that, like, she's like sorry that she didn't get to do all these things and stuff. So, and I think there are plenty of women who have that story. I actually did all the things, but she's sad she didn't become an opera star. She didn't become, whatever, martial artist. She didn't become, which is kind of funny because she became all that stuff too. But the lady in the story didn't become all that stuff, and she's really sad, and she doesn't realize how wonderful her life is. And then she doesn't realize what a wonderful husband she has. and
It's a Wonderful Life. It's a Wonderful Husband.
yeah, okay. But he's so and then the Waymond character is just kind of frivolous and silly. You know, I mean, when I think really hard about it, and he's like at the beginning, he's sorry, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen this movie, or you probably hate it because somebody stuck something up their butt, you know, sorry, just listen, fast forward. But he's frivolous and silly and stuff, and then I'm sad that he serves the divorce papers, you know, but I guess he's just trying to get her attention or something. And I think that's like where the movie starts, is that this is my Everything Everywhere All at Once, is that the man's serving divorce papers, and then she's sad that she feels like she never did anything with her life, and then she realizes that, you know, her dad let her go. She realizes that she's got problems with her daughter, you know, and that the whole like Asian daughter thing is happening, which we see in Turning Red. You know, that's the only movie that I could compare this to, really. I don't compare it to any other movie. And then, you know, after a while she realizes like how lucky she is, and it's just so freaking romantic at the end. It's so romantic, and there's fighting and there's things going up people's asses. I love that. I love everything about this movie. And the first fight with the fanny pack, I can't even, it's like meaningful to me, because skaters used to wear fanny packs, and I don't even know where to go. And then when you watch it, it's a thing of beauty because of all the overlays and stuff. Anyway, it made me, and then when she,
And
you know,
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt and just, you know, clarify also for those of you in Europe, when she says fanny pack, she means bum bag.
Bum bag. Michelle Yeoh puts like one of the frivolous little stupid cheap googly eyeballs, you know, between her eyes. I know I've talked about this already on this show, but that's, you know, like that's, you know, means that she's attained enlightenment at that point. And then Waymond is saying, you know, can we just please all stop fighting? And there's a gay daughter, and I just, you know, oh, Larry says, I actually bought the physical copy of Everything Everywhere All at Once, going to watch it this weekend. I hope that you've already seen it, though, because otherwise, sorry.
Rolling through
just like easily triggered. Oh, Danny says you're easily triggered too. Ha ha. All right. Anyway, I don't even know why I was talking about it, but I love Michelle Yeoh, and so that brings me back to like when somebody forced me to watch Midsummer, which, you know, was the first A24 movie, and Dairy King at the time was just like,
I think you may have
Midsummer,
seen other A24 movies.
A24, this, that. What other movies A24 have I seen?
I don't know. You may have, though. It's not like
I doubt it.
That was the beginning of it.
These are like the 4 movies that I've seen in the past 10 years that aren't Star Wars movies. But it doesn't seem like I'm giving away much.
Did you watch 8th Grade? The movie about the 8th grade girl?
Oh.
Yeah, with the dad by, what's his name?
Were they upstairs getting high instead of going to a party or something?
No.
Okay.
It's like...
No, I didn't watch 8th Grade.
Oh.
I didn't watch it. No. X is a good A24 movie.
Green Room. You watched Green Room. That's a classic.
Did I?
A24. Yeah, we watched Green Room.
We
watched it recently, though. We may have watched it after I watched it.
That's the one where, yeah, I
the
actually
band
liked that one.
Gets the show at the white supremacist compound.
You know, I'd watch that again. So, but Midsummer, you know, like he's like, you got to see it, and I'm like, no, I don't want to see it. Is it a horror movie? And he's like, well, yeah, you know, I don't want to. I hate horror movies. I hate them. Oh, just watch it anyway. It's about grad students. Oh, okay, maybe I'll watch it. And then I watched it, and like little things like jumped out to me, like I really like in Midsummer. The pubic hair there must be something wrong with me, because I like the things going in the butts, and then I like the pubic hair tea, that you drink that and then you want to have sex with the other person whose pubic hair it was. I don't like, I would never drink that, but it's so disgusting that like I can't believe somebody's showing it on my TV set. I think that's, you know, I guess I'm trying to figure out why I like that, and like the trophy that you got to stick up your butt in order to go, you know, get more superpowers, like in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Those are things that stick out to me. Like, I'm trying to think of what else sticks out to me in Midsummer. Like, I was like later on, I was like, God damn, I'm gonna watch that movie. It was kind of neat that you know, I liked it. And then like something else that I liked, like the forcing the girl to have mushrooms. The poor girl who was traumatized. Like, what's her name? What's the beautiful girl's name?
Florence Pugh.
Florence Pugh. Yeah, it's like, you know, she's like traumatized. Her whole family's dead. And now she's going off to Norway or wherever that takes place. Sweden? Where does it take place? And they're like,
Sweden.
You've got to take mushrooms with us. And she's like, no, I don't feel ready. And they're like, no, I'm sorry, you have to take mushrooms with us. And it's like the worst. Oh my God, it's like a freaking nightmare. It's like and then they have like, in this, like as you're watching it, like the flowers are blooming weirdly, like you'd see if you were on mushrooms. And I just watching that, I was just like, oh, it like shakes me to my core. So when we were trying to talk to somebody, yeah, Larry doesn't like the bearskin scene. You shouldn't. He said twisted as hell. Yes, like to have somebody being melted to death and paralyzed. We were talking to like a person, like a normal person this week, these movies, and they hadn't heard of them. And we're like, oh, they're horror movies. And they're like, oh yeah, I like horror. And we're like, no, it's psychological horror. Is what you said. And I was like, yeah, it is totally.
I have a problem with the recorder for the podcast. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a special little pause here. The live streamers are going to get some bonus content from Rose, and then I will start recording again, or start recording the podcast again, because realized I was just about to run out of space. But
okay.
Keep talking. Talk about something.
All right. Well, and I'll continue to talk about all the things that upset me about Midsummer. And then, then I woke up the next morning and I was like, oh, I survived watching that. You know, maybe I was like, oh, maybe I can do this horror movies. Like I felt good about myself having survived watching that. And then the
All right.
check 1, 2, 3. So, and then the Taika Waititi movie where the little kid dies at the beginning, and we all know that I don't like when little kids die at the beginning, but that and it's a Marvel movie. Kid dies at the beginning, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna brace myself for this. So I feel like I'm growing as a horror movie watcher, which brings me to Hereditary. You got anybody who missed. I was complaining about. No, I was talking about how I overcame
bonus
my
content,
fear.
live stream content. You don't have to go back.
Midsummer, and things going up people's butts. There's an extended version of Midsummer that shows more twisted goodness. Thanks, Larry. But so we watched Hereditary, and I loved the ending. Loved it.
It looks good on you,
dude.
That's what you
that
say.
Part of it?
That's what you say to your friend who's made a movie. And you don't like it, and you say, I love the ending. It's total.
Okay, I'm trying to think.
Total
the whole
backhanded
rest
compliment.
of it was nice. The rest of it was nice, but I'm like watching it. I'm like, oh my God, wait, what happens in it? I can't even remember. That's why I like the ending.
This movie you probably spoil because it's like 7 years old now. I'm just disappointed that there wasn't more Gabriel Byrne.
Oh yeah,
Gabriel Byrne didn't have more to do.
That poor dude. Yeah, and then the other guy with the donkey.
The Banshees of Inisherin.
What if? All right, so in my mind, because I've decided now that we talked about white noise last week, right? I've decided.
I don't know if we did. Yeah, we must have.
Yeah, we did.
My question is if I had a little miniature donkey, would you let me bring it in the house?
Of course. Are you kidding me? I think the opposite would be that I would have a miniature donkey. Would you let me bring it in the house?
I really want a miniature donkey.
Yeah, well then I can get rats. More
rats. Do you
rats
think we're
too.
allowed? I wonder if the zoning allows for miniature donkeys.
That's a good question. Can we have chickens?
That would drive the dogs crazy next door.
Oh yeah, the dogs are crazy anyway.
Yeah, but they would just be like, "What is that thing?"
What if all the movies that you watched were just one movie? Like Buddhism.
Maybe that's what your life is. Maybe you're a brain in a vat.
Because
this is all a simulation, Rose.
I can't. Well, the thing is, I can't remember anything. I've decided I can't remember anything. and I don't know if it's because I'm getting like really senile or it's the drugs, and that by drugs I mean drugs to stop me from getting cancer, not drugs to make me high. I don't know, but so anyway, so what if all the movies are just one movie? So there's two dudes wearing really, really beautiful clothes and another woman wearing really beautiful clothes, like on an island, like the same island that Luke Skywalker is on. That's to me
apparently
like watching these.
1920s Irish island
Yeah.
fashion is now contemporary fashion. It's come around full
Well, no,
circle.
contemporary fashion is now Irish.
Yes, that's what I mean.
yeah.
It's like it's looped around.
But so I saw this movie where dude was drinking blue milk, threw his lightsaber away, got mad at Ryan Johnson for that, just kind of persevered through the movie, and then like years later decided that it's okay to say I hated it. Then these two guys got into a fight. These two Irish guys got into a fight in this movie. And one of them cut off his finger and then
Come
threatened
on, you shouldn't spoil that. I don't think
Okay.
that many people have seen The Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah, it's a different movie.
And actually, I have to say that I watched it twice, and the first time I did fall asleep during a part where the threat of a traumatic thing was announced, and I was asleep during that part. And so when I watched the movie, I woke up and I didn't know this was going to happen. And then when it happened, it was pretty shocking. And then
Because you shouldn't fall asleep.
and then I watched it again, and then finding out that this guy announces what he's going to do, I was like, the movie would have been better if he didn't announce it. Yeah, he kind of it's a little weird.
That happened at the end of Hereditary too. I was like, wait, just shut up about it.
So that's my thought, is the end of Hereditary with the voiceover, because you never see what's her name from The Handmaid's Tale?
Aunt Lydia.
Aunt Lydia, yeah, Ann Dowd.
Yeah.
You never actually see her on camera talking. It's all her voice over the ending, explaining everything. And I'm like, okay,
Shut up.
no, you did a
It's just
test.
like,
You did a
yeah.
you tested the film, and everybody at the end was like,
What
happened?
Yeah.
what happened?
And then you gave into it.
Blade Runner moment.
A24. You gave into it.
I think it's good. I think I think it's fine.
I think it's fine too, because those of us who we're okay with like, we know what you did. You gave in. That's okay though, because the people who like can't handle trophies going up other people's butts, would not be able to handle the end of Hereditary without an explanation.
So our bag boy is a fan of Ari Aster's work.
Yeah.
And so he excited about the preview for what's it called now? Bo is scared.
So,
yeah, and you already had a review of the film from just watching the preview.
Oh yeah. Let me see if I can find my review, because you guys all know now. Like I do not like scary movies. I hate horror movies. I hate them.
So I don't enjoy horror movies either, but I think the Bo is scared looks to me like the kind of movie that would scare you, not because it doesn't seem like it's much of a horror movie. It's more of a psychological type. Well, and you could argue that's what Midsommar and Hereditary are, but
I'm going to read my review now.
But before that,
okay.
it seems like in that preview there's a lot of stuff that to me would be equivalent to the Banana Splits floor, which scared you as a child, right?
Oh God!
Yeah,
well, so the same thing with the midsummer flowers blooming.
weird hallucinatory kind of stuff that's going on.
Yeah. So the night before, I have just a post to the family WhatsApp that says it's okay to be sad sometimes, and it's somebody has rewritten. What is it? Little critter is crying, and he's like his little, his thing was like, I was gonna cry, but I didn't. I was brave, and then like somebody had crossed it out and said, I was gonna cry. I cried. I was brave. And it's just like, I was like, that's so cool, and so it was because I recently installed Reddit, and wholesome memes came up on my feed as something that I would like. So then I was on there, so I posted that, and I'm like, I found wholesome memes, and I spent a night with that. So then the next morning, Tuesday, from me, it says, motherfucker, I just watched the new Ari Aster trailer, and I hate you all now. This dude has mom issues. Also, there are 2 songs in the world that give me nightmares. That is the other one.
Oh,
And Rick just writes back, no spoilers.
yeah, I hadn't watched the preview yet, but it's what is it? It's the yeah. I don't think people will know it from there. Oh, dueling banjos from. It's Supertramp, the Supertramp song.
Oh, I hate that song. It gives me nightmares. It gives me fucking nightmares. Sorry for swearing you all, but I hate that song. That song and Hotel California, which I heard the other day. I was like
How
trapped.
were you? You okay? You made it okay? Through? And is it the original version of Hotel California or any version of Hotel
Any
California?
version.
So even that scene in The Big Lebowski is a problem.
Why? Yes. Why do I need to listen to a song about people getting trapped and dying somewhere?
Well, I don't know if they die. They're just kind of in limbo.
Why do I need to listen to a song about that? Why do you listen to music why would you listen to music that makes people fight when you could
If you ever have any questions
to-
about the Eagles, there's just one answer to every question about the Eagles. And so ask me a question about the Eagles.
do they suck?
Cocaine.
Oh. Okay, wait.
What's
so
Hotel California about?
What's Hotel California about?
Cocaine.
Oh, wait, really? So it's about people doing drugs? Maybe I won't hate it then. And then they get in limbo? Cocaine.
Cocaine.
Oh, wow. Okay, which I would
Explains
never
everything.
do. So, wait a minute. Let me think here. What was the Eagles' favorite drug? I can't think of. I'm so stupid about the Eagles. I don't even
Maybe
know
it's just why
questions.
questions. Yeah, if you ask a question that starts with why about the Eagles, the answer is
You
cocaine.
ask a question. Tell me to ask a question about the Eagles. Tell me.
Ask a question about the Eagles.
No. Give me more specifics and I'll ask it. Come on. Do it. It'll be fun.
Why did the Eagles break up?
Why did the Eagles... Rick, why did the Eagles break up?
Cocaine.
Larry is saying, does the song Somebody's Watching Me scare you? No, I don't like it, though.
By
Somebody's watching me.
Rockwell?
Nope. No, I don't care about that
By
song.
Rockwell.
Doesn't bother me.
Background vocals by Michael Jackson. And of course, Rockwell was who? A child of Berry Gordy. Was he Berry Gordy the third? I can't remember who Rockwell is. He's definitely one of Berry Gordy's children.
Okay, whoever's listening, you guys get to play the game too. You can type in a question here about the Eagles for Rick, and he'll answer it. Remember we used to always talk about. All right, so anyway, the reason we were talking about A24 movies is because you talked about Hereditary, and The Exorcist 3 in a podcast.
Yes.
And The Exorcist 3 is the best movie ever made. The Carp.
Watching it again, I realized the best parts of the movie are before the action starts. It's all the weird initial stuff. And I'm trying to find the director's cut. So William Peter Blatty, the author of The Exorcist, also William Peter Blatty, I already talked about this a while ago, co-author of A Shot in the Dark, the second Inspector or Pink Panther film. He was forced to put an exorcism into it, and so he had to shoot an extra huge amount of stuff. But
it wasn't about The Exorcist. The only way he could get the movie made was if he put an Exorcist 3 in
well,
it.
no, he actually was getting it made, and then the movie company made him shoot more footage, and so it gets super confusing. But there's a director's cut. Apparently, they found footage, and it's like maybe 5 years ago. But I'd have to buy a DVD. And I've already bought a DVD of Exorcist 3 once in my life and was unable to sell it on, Amazon during the great DVD purge of 2005 or whenever that was. And, like no one would buy
Physical media is
And so
back
I'm not
in
going to
now.
buy another DVD of Exorcist 3 just to watch William Peter Blatty's less awful version of the film.
I can't even imagine why you wouldn't do that out of all the stupid things that
maybe
you
I
buy.
will.
You just bought.
I just have to find it cheap. You know what? I bet I maybe it's cheap. That's
I'm
the thing.
sure.
Is there has
What?
I bought that documentary about Kit Lambert and Chris Stamp. I bought that. I bought a DVD of that because it was cheaper than renting it on Amazon, like renting it for streaming. I bought the DVD, but I felt guilty about it because I was adding to the plastic on the planet.
Larry says, love the scene in Exorcist 3 when the old woman crawls on the ceiling. The carp scene, when George C. Scott talks about the carp, the delivery, you can't even call it masterful. And if you want to see this, you can just type into Google George C. Scott, Exorcist 3 carp. And it'll come up because I did that and I had to show it to Bag Boy and he laughed.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing film.
Yeah.
Or it's got some amazing scenes.
I mean, I kind of fall asleep usually during it.
Yeah, no. Then that's what I realized too is like it's like 15 minutes, not even 15 minutes of amazing stuff, and then about 2 hours of treading water.
So we watched Hereditary though, and I was like, this dude hates his mom, and I was like, this mom sucks. This got to be written by some young dude, right? And then Graham was like, oh, I think Ari Aster's Jewish, and I'm like, well, I think he hates his mom. No, he has actually has a very good relationship with his mom, and I was like, I wasn't.
What's
sure
he going to say? Is he going to say, yeah? So what is a young director going to say in interviews about his family?
Yeah,
if he's
exactly.
Going to have to deal.
Somebody's got mom issues who's close to him then, or something like that. Because that mom, like, I didn't like. What'd she say that I didn't like?
Almost everything that she says to her son in that movie.
No. There's like the grandma dies or something, and then the little girl says, who's going to take care of me now? And I was like, fuck that mom. She's stupid. And then you're like, the dad is just absolutely, like missing in the entire movie, which he is. He's like kind of there a little bit.
He's not missing. It's just, he's fine. It's just, it shouldn't be Gabriel Byrne not phoning it in. It's just like there's not enough for Gabriel Byrne to do. He does really well with what he has, but there's not a lot of...
There was because...
Not a lot of raw meat for Gabriel Byrne to Gabriel Byrne with. Although he is a pretty, cool actor.
We can extrapolate that the dad, Ari Aster's dad, was probably never around, and his mom was, probably never around. Or I don't know. Maybe he had. I don't know. I feel sorry for him if he had a bad childhood, but good on him that he's making all these great movies. But yeah, she said that, and I was like, I hate her. And then you guys were like, why do you hate her? And
I was not. I was laughing.
Yeah, but that upset Graham. And he's like, why do you think the mom is bad? Why do you think the mom is bad? And I was like, well, I don't know, but I like how it ends up. We can.
Maybe he was asking because later when she says the really horrible things to her son, then it's obvious there's something wrong with her. But
I can't remember what she said. Something bad.
Oh, just the stuff about being responsible for the daughter.
Oh yeah, like it got all ordinary people there for a while.
Yeah,
and then I was
God, there was some nice ordinary people stuff going on.
But so there was a great payoff at the end because the dude becomes Jesus or whatever Jesus you're going to have.
So that's probably how Gabriel Byrne got sold for that character, which is like, this is Donald Sutherland in Ordinary People. It's like, oh shit, okay, I'll do it.
Larry says Gabriel Byrne at his best in The Usual Suspects.
Yeah. And what I realized
Rick agrees.
He's good, yeah. Although I think there's been a turn against Usual Suspects. People get
Wait, is that
maybe
the
it's
Mr. Pink thing?
No.
Okay, I don't know.
Maybe it's just because of Kevin Spacey. But
that's why.
The In Treatment, which I'd forgotten that I'd watch, a show where he's a therapist. It's an adaptation of a Israeli show. Gabriel Byrne's good in that too, and that's kind of what he is. He's kind of playing that person in Hereditary too. Yeah, okay. Yeah. It's his more chill.
but
although he's always kind of chill. He's a super chill actor. Now that I think about it.
After sitting through the whole terrible mom thing, but the son
Miller's Crossing is not his best.
Oh, I have to watch that again. I don't remember.
I think maybe Miller's Crossing might be his best.
But so I watched that with all the mom issues, and then the son prevails at the end, which is really nice. And then I was like, then that's when I was like, oh, well, I'll watch the next. There's a new Ari Aster movie. I should become part of the crowd of our family and watch it. And then I was just like traumatized by that stupid Bo Bo is afraid. And then you could tell that's a horror mom also. That's a horror mom movie. It starts with the mom saying something. The trailer starts with the mom saying something terrible, and you're just like, oh man.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold off judgment until I actually see the film and see if it's the preview is not a misrepresentation of. Yeah, so they might be just kind of making you think that it's a guy with mom issues kind of movie.
Well, it looks
when
to
maybe
me,
it's not.
It looks to me like the mom birthed him and he has superpowers, but they're tormenting him through the whole movie or something like that. And I couldn't, like, the graphics were like, holy shit, just the same as Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's just like, oh
Well,
my
when
God.
I watched it again and he leaves the house and he's just dodging, like people are like freaking out like it's the apocalypse or something, but I think I'm realizing now, no, that's just his internal. It's all internal. I'm sure the film is just all internal. It's a distorted view of the world.
You know what Ari Aster should do next then? Infinite Jest. Why don't you get working on that? A24 and Ari Aster.
You know what
okay.
it would be? It would be a great TV series.
Oh my God. Okay. So like I don't know if this happened to you. No, this didn't happen to you, I guess. Or do you get like a email every time a new class passes?
No, I do not.
Okay, so like I'm sitting working all of a sudden, ding, and I was like, oh, ding, 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 ding. I was like, at some point you're like first, if it's your family, your phone or something, somebody died, but this was like just university computer, just my university email going off, and I'm like, I would have gotten a text if like there was a war or like I had to go hide or something. Like, so it's just ding, 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 ding. And then I looked and it's like all like new courses being okayed. And I remember hearing, I think that ISU has a new dean of engineering college.
Yeah,
is
it
that
was
right?
announced,
a
yeah.
little earlier today. And then a little bit, like a little after lunch or something, ding, ding, ding. So all these classes were going through. Like being ratified, and like at some time I looked at one of them.
So
and
it's like, not just a new dean of engineering. Is they're creating a college of engineering.
Yeah.
Illinois State University does not did not have a college of engineering, and they're creating one out of whole cloth. They're going to create a whole college of engineering, and they just announced the hiring of the first dean. So it's going to be the founding dean of the College of Engineering, and then they've been working on curriculum. And so what happened was they made the announcement of the new dean who's going to be coming in, and then they just started cranking out all the new classes.
Well, I mean, the new classes were sitting in the queue waiting to be like ratified
right.
or
and
something.
So someone was waiting probably until the announcement to start, because if they started putting these new classes into the queue, right, for approval before the dean was announced, people would start asking questions.
Probably. People were asking questions anyway, but
people are going to ask questions. People are asking lots of questions, like, how do you build a gigantic college of engineering from scratch? Or how are you going to?
Well, this is how. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fantastic. Yeah. But like what was really neat is, like, I always love when I get a ding of a new class. It's like, a new class is born. And this was like a whole bunch of new engineering classes, but we'd heard of them too. Like I'd seen, like I think it started this morning with like Introduction to Artificial Intelligence, and I was like, I took that class in the 1980s. It was SCHEME.
It's a perennial.
Yeah, I know, but I was like, but then there's a bunch of like engineering classes and stuff. I was like, and then I realized what was happening, and I was like saying, I texted my friend Janet. I'm like, can you feel this in your hips? Like a new baby is being born, like a baby engineering college is being born. It's like a star being born, but it's like kind of coming, like this organic form coming out of the university, because we all worked on it. Even we worked on it. We were in one of the meetings. It was just very, very cool. It was very neat. But that was my metaphor. And then I sent another text to my friend who's the head of the engineering curriculum committee, and I was like, it feels like a new baby is being born. And she was like, that's a good metaphor,
A new baby, not an old baby.
Yeah.
It's the hope. right? It's
Yeah.
not, you're not going to give
Yeah.
birth to a
Yeah.
fully formed 100-year-old white male
That's what happened.
mansplaining
We
his
were
way through technology,
we
right?
were
That's
going
the
to,
intent.
yeah, and
is
then it was stopped.
to actually build an engineering program, college that's reflective of the 21st century
And the people,
and
the
the
people's
planet.
engineering
Yes,
college.
exactly.
It's going to be the engineering college of the people.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's very exciting. So that's like, it was just ding, ding, ding. I've never gotten that many emails just like that quickly, like in succession like that. All right, so what else do you got?
I don't have anything. I showed up
stomach's
here.
growling.
I had to frantically plug everything in. I had to get this cockamamie camera working.
So this week I held a book that I wrote for the first time in my hand.
Oh yeah. So that's where I get a bunch of notifications when you bring the mail order to the
Oh yeah, it's
the
the
post office, and then all of a sudden I get 10 to 15
Ding,
notifications
ding, ding.
that as the person is scanning them, I
Yeah.
think. And so the pre-orders are starting to go out, and now don't expect to get your pre-order right away. I'm working my way through it. I'm a warehouse boy. I believe, is it warehouse boy? What am I called? Shipping boy?
Whatever.
Warehouse boy?
No, I think you were calling yourself warehouse boy.
I wasn't
And
calling myself that.
Well, Chris Garibaldi was, right?
But it's fine. That is what I am. So I'm working through the pre-orders for Flower Plower, the re-release of our first record, and Rose's book, and so those will be streaming out to you in order of ordering. So and it may. So I think what is the date? The promised date was shipping around January 27th. So I will definitely, I believe, have everybody's pre-order shipped out by January 27th.
And I'm signing all of them too, so I can
Yeah.
only sign so many until they start getting ruined. So I don't think I've ruined any yet, but I'm numbering each one too. So the first person who said, "Oh, look, I got a book," and took a picture of the inside of it, and it was number 1. It was the first one I signed. Did you see that? On the convoluted Poster Children Facebook?
Yeah, I saw something come through. I actually just got a message from Chris Corpora, who was helped us with the band in the early days. He just messaged me and said, "Where can I get Rose's book?"
So you can get it on Bandcamp.
But I don't think he messaged me through. I think he's messaging me.
No, I know. Yeah.
I think
yeah.
it's a Friday.
But people
Friday
keep
night,
asking,
Friday
like people,
evening message.
people come
not
up to me.
Not a Radio Zero message.
Right, I understand. But people come up to me and they're like, "Well, where can I get your book? You know, it's just on U of I Press. You know, I can't get it through Amazon, can I?" And then like I go, "Well, you know, because I'm supposed to tell people to get it through Bandcamp but not Amazon."
You
but
don't
like,
have to.
I
mean,
know,
if
but when I
somebody
say,
says-
yeah, where can I get
this
it?
is why I say there's a problem is
No,
because
but-
then you say things like I can't tell people, and it's like
No, it's
if
not that.
somebody
I want to
says,
tell
yeah,
people to get it on Bandcamp, but so when I take the deep breath, they go, "Oh, it's not available anywhere." Oh, I get it. It's just one of those types of books.
Well, I
you
don't
know?
understand why you're taking a deep breath. It's like, yeah, it's on Amazon, but you can also buy it directly from me or
Well,
the
I
band.
don't want to enthusiastically talk about how great
Well,
you can
then,
get. Well, I guess
then you get what
yeah.
you get. You get people thinking that it's not. It's a self-published,
Which
thing
there's
you're
nothing
selling
wrong
out of,
with.
out of the back of your car.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I did ship them from the back of the car. I
That's
did carry,
true.
like I did
true.
share, but those are the ones from Bandcamp. So, all right. But anyway, thank you so much. Thank you to Chris Garibaldi and Lotus Pool Records for helping us bundle those with the Flower Plower, right? And some of them are coming through. Just people are just buying them directly from Bandcamp. You can get the record or the book on Bandcamp too, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So I practiced promoting it today in the music office. I went and I said, "Look, I have a book. I'm an author. And I'm trying to promote myself." And then I sent a message to the dean, I think, like, "I have a book." Because other people are so good at that. They're like, "I have a book out," and then everybody's like, oh my God, it's the second coming of Jesus Christ. So like I kind of want to do that too, because however many second comings of Jesus Christs we have at ISU makes us look good, you know. So I want to add to the prestige of ISU, or whatever the accomplishments of ISU. But it's just, it's like, yeah, I couldn't do it. I sent her a message, and then she's like, send it out to all the directors. And I was like, okay, I'll do that later. And I haven't done it yet because what's going to happen? They're all going to go, oh, congratulations, Rose. They all know it anyway.
That's right.
Like, they follow me on social media. It's very hard. It's very hard to promote yourself.
No, it is. I agree.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't undermine yourself either. You should not deny the existence of things or
no, I don't have a book out. Yeah, I'm not doing that either.
No. Fuck you. I heard you have a book out. Fuck you.
Punch him.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think I heard like my friend Rick Powers like doesn't sign books, right? I think I'll have to verify that with him again, but I know why now, I think. Cuz like you're going to mess it up, or, you know, I don't know. I'm happy with it though. I figured when it would come, I would be like horrified. Like when you look at like your old artist statement or something, you're like, oh my God. But I've been trying to read it and look at it, and it's, you know, I've been trying to figure out how I will talk about it if somebody asks me about it, you know. So anyway. All right. So let's talk about, I'm sorry, I'm talking about myself.
It's not a problem.
Can you talk a little bit about your, Rick gave like this amazing talk at our teaching and learning symposium.
It was a panel. It was not a talk.
Yeah. It was a panel, and it was about teaching empathy in the classroom using design thinking. Mm-hmm. And it was so funny. It was so good. I loved it. It was like the best day of my life. Or this year at least, you know, just watching you, because you're so smart, and you're so like, you're so put together well, and you're so eloquent and thought provoking when you speak and stuff. So it was just so I just loved it. I was like, and I could tell like the other people in the panel who knew you were just like, oh, he's so great. You know, it was so good. Can you give a little like synopsis of it?
No, it was just talking. It was a group of faculty who teach classes, and we're playing around with design thinking in our classes, and a lot of us are designers already, and so it's just talking about how that can be used to help students learn about collaborate better, and then also problem solve, and then also how to interact with their community, or help try to solve problems within their, like in the university community. It was just about how these ideas of, you know, how do you teach someone to be, how do you teach empathy, how do you teach collaboration, how do you teach problem solving, which are all things that we're supposed to be, we want. Everybody says it doesn't matter what they teach at the university. It's always like, oh, we want to create critical thinkers and problem solvers and independent thinkers, and, you know, people who can, and it's like, but we want to teach them to be creative, and we want them to work well together. And it's like, but it's like, how do you actually teach that? It's super scary, because
anytime you give a group project, Rick has like, you know, the TED Talk, like one sentence back presentation that says you have to be collaborative, and it's like, I don't want to be collaborative.
I hate collaboration. I hate group projects.
Yeah.
Right? Is what everybody says, and then it's like your whole life will be group projects.
Yeah.
And so, it's just figuring out ways to teach that, and then there was another great presentation about you
mean Allison's afterwards?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so good.
I'm trying to remember the name of it though. But just how to, you know, curiosity, right? Yeah, right.
How to inspire curiosity, and like kind of said, you know, she's talking about having to give research papers, like, you know, okay, she's teaching the dreaded music history class, and you have to choose what you're gonna do your research paper on, you know, right at the beginning of the class, right? You have to do that. And you don't know, you have no idea, like, all of the different topics that you could, you know, she could provide like a list of topics, like, okay, you could do it on this, but students don't have any clue about any of the topics at all. in the that they can write about. You don't know it yet, so you have to pick something.
It parallels to working in group projects. It's just like, oh, we're just going to give we're going to say work together, get this done, right?
Yeah.
And it's like that's not really teaching. That's saying, oh, everybody knows how to work together and just figure it out. And same thing. It's like, oh, everyone, you need to figure out how to be engaged in the class, or you need to find your entry points. And it's like, well, no, part of what teaching is
providing entry points into the information.
Yeah.
So she was very inspired by like a curio cabinet, which I know about because from Linda Duke and working on that stuff. But like just so what she, like her research project with honors students was to create just kind of like a little introduction to all of the different topics that you could do your research paper on, but also like different entryways. So like you could, well, if you're like interested in religion, here are all the different like religious topics you could do a paper on. And if you're interested in like geography, here's like what sparks you, and then you could look at it from a whole bunch of different viewpoints. It'll kind of give you tags into how you could choose a topic for research, because you don't know the stuff yet. So
and it's
really,
the realization
really cool.
too that it's like, and I think probably what's happened is because high school has changed. That idea of, oh, everybody coming into college is equipped with how to write a research paper, or how to research, how to ask questions, how to work in groups and all that kind of stuff. And I think maybe that's not true, and maybe it's never been true. And it's kind of like maybe the previous. Sometimes a teaching philosophy for a lot of this stuff would be throw them into the pool and they'll learn how to swim. And now it's about, it's not hand holding. It's like showing how to, it's skills building, right?
Yeah.
Like how to, like you can learn and you can develop habits and skills that make you more creative, make you more able to solve problems, makes you able to collaborate better and work in teams better, right? That those are skills you develop, right? It's like, and I think a lot of times people just attribute that as sort of like some innate ability, and it's kind of like, well, no, why am I interested in collaboration, or why do I have some insights into collaboration? And it was like, oh, because I was in a frickin' band with my partner and my brother for 40 years or whatever in a van with four other people,
right.
And it's like I don't think I knew how, I don't think I was born, obviously I wasn't, I think maybe my brother was born to be able to tolerate that situation. I don't even think he was necessarily fully equipped for that kind of stuff, right? But it's like you learn like even what we learned about touring, it was like the 2 week we always
2
talk
week
about
mark.
When you hit 2 weeks, it's like you got to get past 2 weeks. Like 2 weeks in the van on tour, you are going to hate everyone.
On the 14th day, you're going to want to kill everyone.
And then you
got to push through it, because the 15th day will be okay again. As long as you have a show every single night, though.
Once you do 2 or 3 tours, you realize, oh, okay. Oh, how long has it been? Oh, it's 2 weeks. And we've got another 4 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever ahead of us. It's just like, it's kind of like when you jump over the abyss, and then the moment where it's just kind of like, oh crap, am I going to make it to the other side? It's like, but it's played out in slow motion, and so at some point you're going to start flailing.
But some other inspirational things you said in front of people, in front of a bunch of university professors, was that you've never done anything. You consider yourself an artist and a performer and a composer or whatever you said. You said. But and you have a lot of output. Rick has a lot of creative output. He talked about that, and he said, but I never feel like I've done it all alone. I always know that I've been collaborating with other people. That's what you said in front of a room full of professors, and I just thought that was just so inspirational. It was just it was so lovely to hear somebody say that. You know what I mean?
And to go back to just the interview. About He's My Star, but also talking about Champaign and talking about the early days of us, being a band in Champaign. And it's just, you realize how integral community is for a part of that.
Yeah.
And how small too. And that's also the thing is like everybody especially when they talk about like creative communities, is like they always want to talk about the rock stars. They want to talk about success, like international success or national success, or even just something, getting a record out or whatever, people coming to your shows. But it was like realizing that the parts, the things that changed my life and helped me form a creative identity and a creative life were, a small group of maybe 15 or 20 people. I mean, it was not, when we were first going to shows and watching these bands and, playing with bands that were touring and everything like that, we were not playing to or in an audience of 500 or 1,000 or 10,000 people. It was literally like 20 people.
20 people, same 20 people.
Sitting
always.
in a sandwich shop or a...
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, most of them were sandwich shops, and bars. Yeah, like small, weird living room like bars, with 20 people at most, all of whom were in bands watching another band, right? And so you also realize how powerful the small local community is, and creative community is in your life as an artist, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I just loved that you also talked about, you said, well, you hear failure is an option. And you said you don't like that anymore. I don't like that anymore. Go ahead.
Oh no, I hate failure is an option, because that sounds like you can screw up, you can fail, and it's like, so now I say failure is a step towards success, right? As you fail, as you have all these failures as you're working towards success, but failure is not an option usually. Like I can't say, well, you know what? This class isn't working out. I give up. I'm leaving.
I'm not gonna teach this class anymore. It's too hard. That's what he said.
It's too hard. It's like,
You're
that's not
hysterical.
an option. That's not an option.
Yeah.
Right? And it's pretty much true. It's like, you've got...
Actually, it is an option, I think.
I guess it is an option, and people take that option.
Yeah.
But it makes your life... I mean...
Not in our department, though.
It's not... I mean, yes.
I'm just kidding.
It's true. You have... I don't know. You have freedom of choice, I guess, right? You have the freedom to say...
As a millennial...
you have the freedom to fail,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But I think if you want to be a successful, productive person, and I'm not talking about productive for someone else, I'm just talking about productive, like doing meaningful things, failure is going to be a part of that process, but failure should not just be the end point where it's like, I was making this house of cards and then it collapsed. I'm never going to build another house of cards. It's like, I'm going to try again. It's like,
so
they always fall down.
You know what I would love to explore is so I just taught a 4-week winter, like intensive winter session of my computer programming class. And I made videos, like I made these like 30-minute, 20-minute, maybe the first one might have been more than 30 minutes videos, or just like of me just coding stuff, like just, hey guy, and explaining everything as I go along. Just follow along with me and pause, and then you type in what you need to type in and press play and stuff. And what I would really love to explore is the people. I know there were at least a few people who did not click on the videos. I probably would have been one of them, and did not watch the videos. I got one email from somebody just going, I looked at examples and I've been reading all the material. I have no clue. I've never done this before. Every student emailed me and said they'd never programmed before. I've never programmed before. Every single, so I'm not like the others. And that's not true. Every student told me that they've never programmed before. So you're just like everyone else. But this particular one student, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to start. And I was like, did you watch any of the videos? Because that you have to watch the video. It's like not even opening a textbook. I know somebody who had a class and did not open the textbook too. So people are so afraid to even try. And then this person said, well, I tried watching the video, and then I started looking at I started reading. There's nothing to read, so I don't know what they were talking about with reading. And then I said, try rewatching the video again, and then contact me and tell me which parts you don't understand. And like 20 minutes later, I get like a text going, this is amazing. This is so much fun. It's like they didn't even try. So what I would love to get that person to write something that will ease everybody else's pain of like the people who are like too afraid. They read this and then they go, okay, I'm going to try. Like, because it can't come from me because I'm the scary person.
I mean,
the videos.
there's hundreds of blog posts about procrastination or getting things done and what have you, productivity.
Yeah.
That's why I was uncomfortable when I said
Heidi.
the word productivity, but it's like and really it's stupid, I guess, or it's just really simple, which is like just force yourself to do something for 15. Say, okay, I'm gonna look at this for 15 minutes, and then you just have to find a way to push through that barrier and just say, well, maybe I'll just take a look at it for a minute. I'll peek at it. I'll
Yeah,
take a
just
little look.
like do the 10-minute thing. Like
Yep.
look at it for 10 minutes. Yeah, I got to tell that to my like we have this like world of knowledge that we have, like these little secrets that we've got to remember to tell to our classes. Heidi says she'd love to watch these videos. Heidi's a fellow breast cancer survivor, as am I. And Heidi, these videos are okay, but like there are videos from like the day before I found out that I had breast cancer, and then like during the time that I had breast cancer, I'd be like, hey class, how's it going? And here's a for loop, and like an hour-long video, and it's like the day that I like found out I had breast cancer or something. And it's like I can look on YouTube and see these, and I'm like, I want to say, what the hell was I thinking? What the hell was I doing? But I know what I was doing. I was living alongside the terror, or the, it's really freaky though. It's really freaky.
I think you're your father's daughter. I mean, it's just kind of like this relentless work.
You have
Imagery.
you're the relentless worker.
I don't feel like I am, but yeah.
Oh yeah, no, your mom would agree.
I'm the reluctant.
No, you're always working. My God, you're always working. Well, okay. Anyway, that makes me feel good though that you say I'm my father's daughter. So I have to go on a book promotion tour next weekend to promote the book to my parents. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell people I'm going on a book promotion tour.
I think it's
in
more of
Florida.
a victory lap.
No, it's to promote the video the book to my parents, because I wrote something like I think I said this already. I wrote something about my dad, like where I would just like assume that he would say something about like a piece of modern art. It's in the end. No spoilers. But I'll have to show him what I wrote and hope it doesn't make him angry.
Oh, he's just going to be so proud.
I hope so. Yeah,
oh,
I
no.
hope so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's really nothing.
He won't care.
Nothing you do that will make him unhappy about the fact that you have a book.
Yeah, you're probably right. Although he was pretty unimpressed with my painting skills. You know who else I have to worry about is like Master Hyung too.
If you had a painting up in the Art Institute, he might be impressed.
Ooh, I should try to get my book in the Art Institute then, huh? I guess
Bookshop.
if it's on Amazon, they can show off about that. I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if your Art Institute bookshop.
47,113th place in bestsellers in women and gender, rock music, and computers.
All right, that's enough. Have a good couple.
Don't
of
be
weeks,
jealous.
Yeah, there's no reason to never mind.
No,
okay.
no reason to downplay myself when I'm at the bottom.
No. When you can do it, you do it so well yourself. There's
Okay.
No one's better at pulling you down than yourself.
Thank you for listening. Well, I'm very strong. Thanks for listening.